Coming this fall from SJS Direct in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. You can pre-order your copy of The Man Crisis today on Amazon.com. I was prepared to do a video about the racist white woman who called the police on an 8-year-old boy saying that he sexually assaulted her when he brushed up against her. However, after I saw the video of the black man who was told by another racist white woman that he didn't live in the building where he lived and that he didn't belong in the building where he lived, I began to realize that all of these incidents weren't isolated, and in fact, they all connect. And they all connect in relation to something I talked about in a previous video called Gynocentrism Run Amok. Now, gynocentrism is where men go out of their way to make the world revolve around women. And in a gynocentric world, what we have today is gynocentrism, where these women are just running amok because the men have elevated the women to an incredibly high social status, and because these men have elevated this woman to an incredibly high social status, they refuse to hold her accountable for her behavior, nor do they want to make her take responsibility for her actions. And because we have a group of beta white males in authoritative positions who refuse to make these white women accountable for their actions or take responsibility for their actions, this is why gynocentrism in America has run completely amok. And as it runs amok, what is happening right now is these white women are going out of their way to try to test the boundaries to see what they can get away with. And many of these racist white females, what they are doing right now by calling the police on small children and making efforts to try to threaten black men, like the one black man who was at that apartment building and was told that he didn't belong at that apartment building. What those females are trying to do is they are testing the boundaries to see what they can get away with and what these white men will hold them accountable for. And because we have all of these beta white males in leadership positions and authoritative positions, what is happening is these females continue to push the boundaries further and further, not understanding that what this female is doing, all of these racist white women are doing, is one big crap test. And because these females are pulling this crap test, what they are doing is, again, seeing what they can get away with. Because these actions where they go out here and call the police on small children is about testing how much power they have in society and how they can use that power to get away with things and not be held accountable for it. Because it's clear to them that there's a complete decline in male authority, and because there's a complete decline in male authority, what they want to do is challenge that male power, because they know that these beta males are completely submissive, completely weak, and will not challenge them in any way, shape, or form. And this was shown to me in a newscast a couple of months ago, where I saw one of these white women literally verbally abusing a police officer, and another incident at a beach where a white female spit in the face of a white male police officer after arguing with them. When you think about those two incidents critically, you realize how much white male authority has declined in America, because when a female believes that she can literally get in the face of law enforcement, it shows you how little respect she has for white male authority. And I also saw this in an incident where, after this woman was being sentenced by a judge for making a false rape claim, what she did was, in the face of another white male authority figure, was laughing in the courtroom. Again, another statement to show how little respect many of these racist white women have for white male authority, but because the incidents that are involved feature black people, many of these white men just don't understand how completely out of pocket his female is, and how if he does not get his female in line, she is going to put his civilization in crisis. Because when you have a female who is out here crap testing boundaries, it's a sign that your civilization is in trouble. Because when your female does not know where the boundary is as imposed by male authority, what she's going to do is continue to push those boundaries until men grow enough backbone and testicles to hard check her. And unfortunately, in this era of Me Too and Time's Up, we have men who have become completely emasculated, completely weakened, and are willing to accept being in a second class status in their own society as this gynocentrism continues to run amok, because many of these beta males who are in authoritative positions, what they are doing is believing that because this woman is the center of their world, they can't hold this female accountable. They can't make her take responsibility for her actions, nor can they punish her for the consequences of her irresponsible, reckless, and egregious behaviors. Because these men put these women on pedestals, these white women are just rolling off the rails and going completely bonkers in their behavior. And as their behavior continues to escalate, again, there are no consequences for it, because many of these beta males, again, put these females on pedestals. They object, they worship them, and because they worship them, they cannot see them objectively and see that their behavior is completely out of order. Because men who are objective and balanced can clearly see how this racist white woman is out of order, completely out of pocket, and is in desperate need of a hard check. Because that hard check lets her know where the boundaries are, what the standards are. But unfortunately, when you have a group of beta males in management, leadership, and political positions, they believe that they can do nothing to this woman, because they are afraid that if they check this woman, they will not get an opportunity to have relationships with her or sexual intercourse with that woman. And that is a complete lie, because if you check that woman, she will submit to your authority and you will still get the same opportunities. But when you have several generations of men who are raised in gynocentrism, they just don't understand the power that they have as men, because these men don't understand the power of the living God, the authority figure who gave them dominion over the earth. And as God gave man dominion over the earth, he gave him authority over the woman. And as that having that authority over the woman, he has the power to hold that woman accountable, make her take responsibility for her actions, and punish her for irresponsible, reckless, and egregious behaviors that she participates in. It is the man who leads the woman. Unfortunately, thanks to 100 years of gynocentrism and 50 years of feminism, we have 3 generations of beta males who believe that the woman leads the man. And because they believe that the woman leads the man, the woman is running amok, and she's putting the whole American civilization at the brink. Because when you have women going out here and calling 911 on an 8-year-old boy and literally mirroring the exact same events that led up to the murder of Emmett Till, it is a sign that your civilization is on the brink of collapse. And when you have white women going out here calling the police on 8-year-old girls for selling water on the street while she's selling marijuana in her home, again, it's another sign that your civilization is on the brink of collapse. Because when you have your females out here abusing law enforcement and abusing the power that they have without taking responsibility, what is happening is you have males who have lost complete control over their women, who have no control over their women, and are not making any serious efforts to check their woman. Because if anybody else of any other ethnicity were to call 911 and make a frivolous police call like that, they would be told that they would be arrested for making a false police report. They would be put in jail for making a false police report, processed through central booking, and then taken to trial. And that would send a message to those people that you don't take the police for a joke. But white women believe that they can take male authority figures like police officers for a joke by going out here and making these 911 calls talking about that people are doing things that they're not doing, making these crazy exaggerations and putting black boys and black men's lives at risk. And by doing this, again, it's a sign that she shows how little respect she not only has for black men, but she also shows how little respect she has for white male authority, because she's willing to escalate things into a situation where there are racial tensions, and she wants to escalate those situations where there are racial tensions, all because she wants attention for herself, and she wants to create drama where she can be the center of attention. That is the sign that your gynocentrism has run amok, because when your female is willing to put people's lives at risk for attention, that is a sign to all the men in a community that they have to make efforts to check that female at the door, hold her accountable, make her take responsibility for her actions, and punish her for her actions. Because the big problem with American men today is that many American men lack the testicles and the backbone to check this American woman and put her in her place, because he sits there and tolerates all of the ratchet, irresponsible, reckless, egregious, and disrespectful behaviors she participates in without letting her know that for every action there is an equal and opposite response where people will hold her accountable for her actions. And there has to be more done than just seeing these women getting fired from their jobs, because that's no consequence in a country where women get jobs easier than men. We have to see these women being punished by law enforcement for their behavior, for there to be a standard established. Because when you see a white woman literally laughing in court while she is being sentenced for making a false rape claim against a black man, you see how little respect she has for male authority in general and the laws of this land. Because that's what I saw when I was watching that white woman who was laughing in that sentencing, was a complete lack of respect for men in general. And that's another, again, part of gynocentrism run amok. And this gynocentrism is only running amok because American men, again, lack the backbone, lack the testicles, and lack the courage to go out here and hard check these women with a pimp hand and let her know who is in charge of this country, who creates the laws in this country, and who sets the standard in this country. And because these women don't know what the standard is, This is why they are going out here testing the boundaries, by going out here and putting people's lives at risk, by going out here and going around here stirring up racial tensions, because they believe that if they can stir up these racial tensions, they can get attention for themselves and go out here and after they get this attention, be the center of attention. And what's scary about that situation is these women just don't understand how they are playing with fire, because all it took was one of these white women out here to go out here and say something happened, like a rape that didn't happen, that led up to the destruction of Black Wall Street, led to the destruction of Rosewood, and led to the murder of Emmett Till. And that's why both black men and white men have to get together and do something about this gynocentrism run amok, because this woman is testing the boundaries, and what she wants to do as she tests these boundaries is again try to get people fighting over her, making her the center of attention, and it all shows how she does not appreciate the position she was elevated to by all men in society, and how ungrateful she is because she's acting like a completely spoiled brat out here, going out here abusing our 911 system, abusing our court system, abusing law enforcement by making these false claims and making these false reports. And again, it shows how little respect she has for the country she lives in, how she does not appreciate the freedom she has been given, and how she does not appreciate the lifestyle and privilege she has been given. This female is so high up on her pedestal that she literally smells only herself, and she believes that she is the best thing since sliced bread. She believes that she's the best thing in the world, and because this white woman is so beside herself, she thinks she can do literally no wrong in society. And this is where I believe men have to knock this woman off the pedestal, let her fall on her backside, and then as she falls on her backside, give her a stern look and let her know where her place is, because it's clear to me that she does not appreciate the position she was given in society. She does not appreciate what she has, and she does not appreciate all that has been done, because this white woman, as I see it, is one of the most spoiled, entitled, obnoxious people, and her behavior is just so out of pocket these days that she literally is in dire need of a reckoning. She is in need of a hard check, and she is in need of a group of men to have the backbone and the stones to let her know her place in society, a place that she has not been put in a good long time, because we've had this group of betas, white knights, cucks, and manginas who have all but gassed this woman's head up to the point where she just believes that she's a god, when she needs to be shown the humility of being a human being, and that she needs to be given a hard look in the eye and let known that her behavior is out of pocket, it is out of order, and she needs to follow the standard of the man God put in place as her leader, and it's not his place to follow her. And that's what we need to see from American men. We need to see American men grow that backbone, grow those testicles, and stand up as men and stand up to these women, because that's the only way we're going to have people who stand for America's values, America's culture, and what's great about America's civilization. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to try some of my SJS Direct publications, like The Man Crisis, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.